Hey everybody, this is Dan, Basic Camping with Dan. Thanks for tuning in again. I got a really cool recipe, one of my favorite recipes to share with you all this evening. It's really easy, mostly with cans. You can choose to use fresh ingredients as a substitute, but it just depends on what you have in the pantry or available at the campsite. It is my rendition of the Cowboy stew made on a camp stove. Here in Missouri, it's really dry right now. We're under a fire warning, so really not a good idea to make a fire. So this is a recipe you can do on your stove, or you can pre-make it and you can just warm it up too. So either or. So yeah, let's get started. And as you can see, the leaves are still trying to turn. We're in a drought right now, so I'm not sure how much color we're going to see, but so the recipe is as follows. Canned carrots, just one can, 14.5 ounces. Canned peas, 15 ounces, just a regular can. We got Busch's. You gotta have Busch's. You could try an alternative, but I've always had good luck with Busch's. This is a 28 ounce can. Potatoes, these are red potatoes. I always opt to the fresh potatoes just because I'm not a fan of the canned, but can will also work. And then we got Kielbasa, which is going to really tie this together. This is one of my favorite parts. And to add a little bit of protein, I'm going to do a can of roast beef, which will kind of give it a more of a meatier taste, especially kind of balance some of this pork. So the first thing you want to do is you want to cut up the kielbasa, cut it into just some 1/2 inch, 1/4 inch slices. And when you get the your cast iron or your skillet nice and hot, we're going to go ahead and transfer over the kielbasa. And while that kielbasa is cooking, we're going to cook up the red potatoes. You can use any potatoes or even substitute with canned, but I prefer just fresh potatoes. Even if I'm cutting corners with everything canned, I'm going to go ahead and not skip with a potato. And we're going to do cube potatoes, so you kind of want to just keep on cutting it. You don't want the chunks too big, so something like that will do. You know, even raw potatoes are good. And yeah, make sure you wash your potatoes too. And next thing we're going to do is we're going to open the can of beef broth. We're going to actually cook the potatoes before we put everything together in the beef broth. And then we're going to go ahead and throw the potatoes in. And so yeah, about 15 minutes, you kind of, whenever the potatoes go to a boil, you want to keep it at a boil, so boil for about 15 minutes until they're somewhat soft. You don't want them too soft because you don't want them falling apart, so kind of more like an al dente. Next thing we need to do when we bring down the boil for the potatoes is we're going to add the can of beans. And now that the beans are in, we're going to let it kind of simmer for a little bit longer. So I would say about 15 minutes. And then we're going to add the veggies. And then last is the canned meats. So that's what it looks like so far. Just gonna mix it all together, and then we're just gonna kind of let it cook for about 45 minutes. It could be sooner, but I like low and slow with my stews and soups. So we're just gonna kind of let it go low and slow for about 45 minutes, and we'll be able to turn off the heat and serve it. So all in all, this was $13, which this easily could feed like four to five people, and especially with big appetites. So you figure about $3 to $4 a pop, but it is a good meal. It's filling, and it is affordable. So that's kind of some of the goal of this channel, is affordable recipes. There's a lot of channels cooking stuff that's high end, but I just want to kind of cook for your average Joe. I'm not a chef, but I like to cook, so cheers. When it's starting to look a little thick like this, you can go ahead and just turn it down either off or really low, and we'll be ready to serve. So doesn't that look delicious? Here it is right here. Let's go ahead and, oh, it's way too hot, but I'm gonna go ahead and enjoy this. And again, thanks for tuning in. If you like this, thumbs up, subscribe, and appreciate you tuning in. And yeah, so the recipe is going to be in the comments. This is kind of just one of the recipes I just kind of threw together because that's kind of the way I cook. And yep, cheers everybody.